Alright, out here Sunday, doing the homeless feeding again, and just day after the verdict, everybody's upset, is thinking that it's a high time we start doing for ourselves. We can understand that America has its rules and it's gonna be the way it's gonna be. So the only thing we can do is begin to start building with each other. We need to get in the communities and serve one another. We need to do things to further ourselves, for ourselves. Everybody else does it, so we need to start doing it for ourselves. And things will get better from that point on. We can't blame outside people for mistreating us on the inside if we were doing it for ourselves. That's all I got.
All right. So what do you think, as far as the youth growing up in today's society, what's something that they can do to possibly keep themselves out of trouble and stay on the right track?
For the youth to get on the right track, that what they really honestly need to do is find basically a peace within each other. We grew up and we listening to, the newest artists, and they pump a lot of garbage into the community and they get paid well to do it. And our youth is just like I was when I was a young boy. You listen to the songs, you find your style of dress, you find out who you think you are as a man, and you try to emulate. We need somebody to put that positive vibe out here. We need somebody to get out here and educate these kids on knowledge of self, real African history, real African knowledge. Because if you knew who you were, you wouldn't be out here doing half the things you're doing. And we wouldn't have to be out here worrying about doing for self and trying to put that into the mindscape of a child, because it would be ingrained. It would be from birth. That's what they would be, and that's what they would do. And a lot of young folks was out here yesterday protesting because of the verdict, and that's passion and that's energy. But y'all putting passion and energy into something that I believe personally does nothing for us or the community. Because you go downtown, you voice your opinion on deaf ears, whether it be police or whether it be down there to the news cameras. They hear you, but they don't care about what you're saying. So you take that same energy and you flip it around and you do for self. You do for others, you do for your community, you do for your brother, you do for your sister. And everybody got to treat each other as family. All communities do this. We are the only community that does not have it as strong as others. That's why our community looks the way it looks. That's why we live the way we live. Because we spend all of our time, our money, our resources, and we give it all away. Whether it be to the corner stores, which is Arab, whether it's the weave stores, which is Asian, or you go to Walmart. That's white business. We need to start putting money into black business. We need to build up our own communities. And as the youth, y'all need to step out here and I guess grab a hold of everybody that you can, come together and stop all of the craziness that leads to the death and destruction. You need to be on building, you need to be on educating yourself. And once we get to that point, it can only go up.
Right. Now, what do you feel? I know you spoke about black-owned businesses. Do you have any suggestions of something that they can do to make themselves more of a presence within the community to get more people to come and patronize?
As far as black people patronizing black people?
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing with that is that only 2% of the business nationwide, 2% is black-owned business. And that has been that way since 1818. 2% since 1818. The number has never changed, not one time. And it's because we are brought up, educated, indoctrinated. We watch TV and all of it tells you love them, trust them, but deny your brother, hurt your brother. It's in the music, it's in the shows, it's in everything that we ingest that's not good for us. So black business is something that we all need to look to start from the bottom. And we got a long way to go because we talking about 400 years of catching up. But there are certain things that we go out and buy from others that we can buy from ourselves, but we refuse to participate with our own brother because of the stereotypes that they give us. That's the Willie Lynch syndrome. He's telling you not to trust your brother, not to trust your sister. She ain't no good, they gonna overcharge you, their businesses ain't ran right. And if we fall into the trap of believing what we're told about our own selves, then that creates the environment that we see. So it's more or less trying to figure out what it is that you can give to your community, how to turn it into business, how to employ your community, which is key. Because you can go down any neighborhood in Cleveland that is average home base, and then you have the main roads abandoned. I'll take my neighborhood, 131st. If it ain't an abandoned building, it's Arab owned, it's Asian owned, it's anybody but black people owned. And the few black businesses that we have in our community is crazy because they flourish. But we don't step outside of selling t-shirts. We want to sell clothes. We want to have a barbecue spot. We want to have a barber shop. We want to have a beauty shop. And that is because we are merchandised by television, by our artists, by our rap artists, to buy clothes, to buy shoes, eat good. It's not anything more than that we can do for our community. You'd be crazy to believe that. It's so much that we can do, that we do honestly do for each other, but on the free side. Or it's something that we'll do for each other on the family side that could turn into business up and down. I have 2 daughters. This summer they both have a business. And they're going to be out here working because we need to start building our children from youth. Not to grow up and get a good job in America, but to start a business. Well, first of all, self-employ. You need to employ yourself. And once you employ yourself and you see that there's a destiny that you can have of your own, where you don't have to get up and go to the clock and shut it off and go to work for whoever else, when you can get up in the morning and you can love what you do and do for yourself. You don't have to depend on anybody. Getting off the titty of the goddamn white man in America is the very first thing and priority in my mind, bar none. Because as long as they control how you make money, they control how you eat. They control how you live. And believe it or not, the way that things are set up in America is white folks flourish. You can get a job. Look at Bob Barker. Bob Barker don't do nothing but talk on TV and hug and kiss women. And he's a millionaire. But you working at McDonald's and you busting your ass, you ain't got time for your family, and you get a bus pass, you barely get your rent paid, you're gonna be on welfare, and your kids ain't dressed nice, you dirty, and you can't feed yourself properly because you ain't making no goddamn money. When you know how to cook, you know how to work in that damn place, your mind should tell you, well, what can I do for myself with the skills that I done learned even from a job that wasn't doing nothing for me? And once you get on your feet and you can see that, oh, well, I can do this. What are your skills? What are your talents? Get yourself out there. See what it is that you can do to build from within. And once you build from within for self, then you reach out for your brother. Then you reach out for your sister. And I don't mean your physical brother and sister, because you need to employ them if you can too. But reach out and look for me. It might be something that I can be an asset to your company. That way you nation build. Nation build, the definition is find your community, work in your community, live in your community, build in your community. And before you know it, everything will look just like it look in Pepper Pike. Everything will look just like it look in Strongsville. But until we work with each other and put each other first, the same way everybody else does, and build for self the same way everybody else does, we're going to continue on this path. And once we get off of that path and we compete with every other race there is, then you have some progress. Then you'll have beautifulness. Then you'll have community. And then everything will be great.
Yeah.